welcome to the results, everybody, and let's get things started. But first, let me catch my breath while you watch this clip.
She didn't bring anything else other than the Atari, or?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. Is she putting up signs or something, or?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Do you think maybe I could set it aside and come back later, or maybe from just over here? Oh. Is this the only plug you had? Cause like the plug was broken off in there. I don't know if like there's another like power plug somewhere else.
No, I think that's the only. I don't know. I haven't opened that box in like
a long time. How much do you want for it? See, that plug broke
really
off.
break?
Yeah.
That sucks.
That.
$5 you can have it.
Okay.
No, Nintendo, I am your father. So, yeah. As you can see, it's the Vader Atari. And, haven't really looked inside it, but yeah. I pulled up to this place a little early and, you know, asked about the video games, totally oblivious to the Vader sitting right in front of me. And unfortunately, she, you know, wouldn't let me purchased it at the time because it was her friend's, but you know, said I could come back, and 15-20 minutes later I returned and examined the goods. But yeah, unfortunately the power adapter was shot, just snapped off right inside of the I noted this, and she threw out the offer of $5, which, you know, I wasn't complaining about. So yeah, let's check this out, see what we got in there. The black Vader Atari in amazing shape. And then heck, there's a box, that's probably why it's not even that dusty. Mogul Maniac. Never heard of that one, folks. Real Sports Tennis. Star Raiders. I'm sure this game's better on the 5200, but I've already found it for the 2600. It's not that much fun. Popeye. Let's see how this one is. Now, you know what? I think I have this one. I was thinking I may have the Nintendo version, but... And, not an Intellivision cart, but... I mean, obviously it's with an Atari system, but it's Super Challenge Baseball. It looks like most of those Mattel games. Some paperwork in here. Paperwork. I got games. Oh shit. It's the mail from Mogul Maniac. And Super Challenge Baseball. What the heck? What the heck is the Joy Board? Oh my god. It's a rollin' rocker for the 2600. Check this out. See those little shoes? You're supposed to stand on it, and I guess you tilt in a certain direction, and you have it hooked up to a controller. It's pretty funny. Let's see, Popeye. Promotional stuff. Amiga. Registration. And system instructions. Registration. Real Sports Tennis. Hey, we're back.
Larry, video game stuff?
You got an old
You're a smart guy, you got all
Game Boy.
Game Boy? Yeah, it turned on. There were batteries in there, so...
Oh, great, thank you.
I'm looking for something that was 12. It is, yeah. Exactly, yeah. I hope it's clean. It is. We've got it out of the living closet. And you know, I think I only maybe used it once. Our table is so long, but it wasn't long enough. But it's really sweet.
And how much, you said you were, how much for each
I
bag?
think $10 a bag, or 25 for all of it.
batteries in there. Do you have any manuals for any of the games or no?
Any what?
Any of them, like the manuals, like the manual like this? Do you have any of those?
No.
Okay.
Alright, so this guy brought out 3 bags of Game Boy stuff after I had asked, and the first bag I opened had a clear brick Game Boy, and I knew I wanted to fashion like my own bag of stuff because he was selling each of them for $10, so eventually he let me do it. But yeah, still in pretty good condition, even has the battery back on it. And you know, I did pick up some games to pay the toll, but he had some rare-ish, valuable, well, I mean, it's not like you trip over this stuff, come out of your place every day, but he had Ninja Boy 2, which I've never played, and then he had an old friend of mine actually had this game, bought it brand new, and sadly I think I traded it into Funkland, but Turtles 3, The Radical Rescue, and it plays like Metroid, but you have like 4, you know, the 4 brothers have their own skills. You start out with Leonardo. He rescues each brother one by one, and they use their skills to navigate this really cool underground base, and you fight all cool guys from the cartoon. But yeah, I ended up getting this bundle for $10. So this footage you're watching right now is actually me walking into a Goodwill store, and there's like this giant bin of games, which rarely happens, like maybe 2 or 3 times that's ever happened, and never at this store, but you can catch the point of this clip right here. So we have NFL Blitz Special Edition, which was a Blockbuster exclusive. Where, you know, I'm not much of a you know, sports fan, but I will pick up this for $2. Maybe it was $2.49. Either way, you know, I wasn't gonna leave it there. Other than that, I picked up Sub Rebellion, which I had a copy, but it was in really jacked condition, and Utogi. I think I might have picked up another one. All ended up being like $2 each. And you know, when it comes to these like N64 games, I wanted to know, like, I think there's one other like Transformers game on the N64 that was like a Blockbuster exclusive, and I know that in the Super Nintendo days you had like, and even in the Nintendo days you had Blockbuster exclusives, but I never heard the case for exclusives from Sega. And if anybody knows like Master System, Genesis games, what have you, probably Genesis games on, I'm thinking, let me know. I'd like to know if there's like any special editions. I've never heard of any for Sega. Alright, so while putting this together, I completely left out these 2 finds, Superman and Warp Lock on the Atari 2600, complete in box and kind of really sharp condition. Anyways, you know, I had been to this guy's place before, and he mentioned that he had, you know, 2600 games that were in their box and everything. He didn't look like much of a collector, just that, you know, that I would be interested in, so he mentioned it. I don't really know, but, you know, the sale was like really early on, 7 o'clock, first thing of the day, and I don't normally do this, but I knew I had to show up there early, because it said on the ad, like, vintage video games, and that's like announcing it to everyone with a bullhorn. So I showed up there at like, I think 6:15, and, you know, the way of massaging the situation, kind of, you know, assuaging kind of any bad tempers, I kind of, you know, my ideal was to go there and basically say, like, hey, you know, you know, talk about it, but then again, you know, say I'll hang back on the side while you continue set up until you're ready. Anyways, he was already set up at 6, so I don't know if he had people there already, but you know, I looked through his stuff, and everything was really nice condition. He had another game by this Data Age company called Snake, which is not like Nibbles or any of those other games where you're like the snake and you grow longer. In the manual, it looked kind of like Pac-Man, but you shoot stuff at a snake. He had a Sealed Phoenix. Each of these were like $5, but he said, you know, I managed to get them down to 3 each, which isn't so bad. he did said he had like some Super Nintendo stuff, but he didn't know where it was. And considering the condition of these guys, he said he had Donkey Kong Country. He didn't say anything else, but I suspect that's in as good condition. But you know, he said maybe the next sale. I gave him my number again, so I'm keeping my eyes open for that address. Anyways, back to the show.
I saw like a bunch of art books and like, you know, video game related stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, somebody's here is an artist.
I was an art director of video games for 20 years.
Oh, any games I might know or?
Jedi Knight.
Yeah,
Back in the 90s.
Yeah, I know Jedi Knight.
There you
Oh,
go.
you found stuff?
They're not cartridges, so they're
Okay.
kind of
That's fine.
recent-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll look through them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cause like.
I still have a GameCube.
Oh, okay. Good luck. Nintendo 64.
Oh, was that what it was? I don't even recognize
Oh,
that.
GoldenEye.
I know.
That was the best game.
I think I played this on the PC. The episode 1 racing game.
$2. Oh, that's PC.
Yeah, there's some PC in here.
Alright, so I met the artist who worked on Jedi Knight games, amongst other ones. And, you know, I was looking through these books and I saw these artist books, Star Wars, video game related stuff, and I knew that this person had to be somehow related to movies or video games. And I found this magazine. You know, there were a couple other ones that weren't open, but I picked out this one because, you know, Star Wars, I guess. But, you know, she's like, I worked on that game, and I made this cover. And I was like, what? Real? It's ridiculous, you know, like, 1997, this is August 97, right? I'm at a grocery store shopping with my family, and, you know, I pull this magazine off the rack, and, you know, there's usually one that was slipped out of its bag, you know, maybe not, you kind of like slip it out and then put it back in it afterwards. Anyways, you know, I'm reading it cover to cover, checking out Star Wars, you know, Terrakasi, and you know, we didn't know it was a bomb then, but what are the odds 17 years later that I end up at the garage sale, the person who worked on the magazine cover, let alone the game? It's absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, all I can say is I love California. It's ridiculous. So, you know, I did pick up some other art books. You know, I found a Gundam book, Japanese Gundam art book. Some really awesome artwork of, you know, the original Gundam, and there's Z Gundam in there as well. I think there's even ZZ Gundam, which I've never seen, and God, I'd love them to bring that over. But, you know, oh man, I used to go to the store, Hall of Heroes, in the mall, and you know, it was a comic store, but they had imports and, you know, subs of Dragon Ball Z, episodes that we never even saw. Like, there was Goku with golden hair, and while we were stuck with Goku being on Namek for like 5 years, it was, you know, ridiculous. But, you know, anyways, I saw this this like samurai robot, you know. He had a freaking lightsaber, and you know, he had these primary colors and 70s-ish, and kind of like Jet Jaguar themed. I don't know. It just. But it looked so cool, and I was like, why the heck couldn't we get this? You know, why didn't we have these over here? I meant, it wasn't until like 2000 when I think I was in high school, I know that, and they had Gundam Wing on, and every day you'd come home from school and there'd be a new episode on. I'd be on the bus, and there was another guy on there. I used to talk with him every day about that last episode, and you know, there was this one scene I just remember, like, I can't remember her name, but she was so badass. She there was a guy getting like kicked out of a plane, and then she like shot him for no reason. Like, he got kicked out of a plane without a parachute, you know. Anyways, yeah, I mean, this stuff was so cool, and it just took so long for this stuff to actually get over here. And now it's just like there's like a new Gundam every year. Oh man. Oh, I also picked up another art book of Marvel Comics. This is really slick. You got like posters. Who's that? Like Elektra. And maybe there's some Eric Larson art in here. He did like some really cool Venom stuff. Alex Ross is really awesome. Just check out a series called Marvels. But you know, it's sort of like a coffee book kind of table, coffee table book. Jeez, pretty neat stuff. Let's see the games. So there was an N64, GoldenEye. There's some cables over here, but 2 jumper packs, rumble packs, and a couple of N64 controllers, gray, red, and an orange marmalade ecto cooler controller. I never find this color. It's usually the if I find one of the clear ones, it's usually the jungle green or the extreme green one. But yeah, pretty slick. And we got some games. Oh yeah, we have a boxed N64 game. You know, if I find boxed games, N64 games at garage sale, which is not too often, it's usually Pod Racer. Let's see what we got here. We got a documentary based on Metal Gear Solid 2, or of Metal Gear Solid 2. It's sealed. It's not in a wrap or anything. It just has that, you know, that full foil thing on there. Rayman 3. You know, I figured I'd give it a try. I mean, I wasn't so much a fan of Rayman 2 on the Dreamcast, but I wasn't gonna leave it there for a buck. Product number 3. Again, I mean, it's complete. Maybe I'll play through it. I already have the disc. I played a little bit of it and it was meh. A making of Fable for the original Xbox. Cookies and Cream, which I already have, but you know, this one's in much better condition. And if you haven't played this game, you can play it with 2 players, but you can also play with 1. And basically, you control. It's almost like Ape Escape. You use both analog sticks if you're one person playing, and the screen is split into 2 parts, and one stick controls the character on the left side of the screen, the other controls the one on the right, and basically they move things around as they progress through the level, solve puzzles. And Ico, the bonus disc, Zelda Master's Quest, Pikmin, and Luigi's Mansion. So, let's see what else we got. Dreamcast. Alright. Floygan Brothers, which I never think came out with episode 2, it was only episode 1. A launch title for the Dreamcast, Expendables, which is kind of like Loaded, or like kind of like, you know, like a top-down game like Machine Hunter or Gauntlet, but with lots of guns. Spider-Man, probably like one of the best Spider-Man games I've ever played. Puzzle Fighter 2, I think they've had this on the Dreamcast, but yeah, I played it before, but it's a fun game, but I never learned the combo system. But now I have the manual, so. Power Stone 2. Now, alright people, you know, the Dreamcast had 200 some games, right? Why the heck are these games going up in price? You know, it's impossible for me to fathom why the heck Capcom games, amongst all these other games, are now shooting up to like 70, 80 bucks. I mean, they're really good games, but, you know, I don't know, maybe it's like overzealous collectors that they think the Dreamcast is going to be like the future, TurboGrafx, beloved but scarce supply. You know, I can't believe that in the CD age, that with hundreds of thousands of these things pressed, you know, how difficult is it going to be to find a 10-year-old game versus a 20-year-old one? It's ridiculous, people. I don't know, maybe the price will drop. So, you know, another game that I remember being expensive soon after its release was Suikoden 2, and that game dropped, I think. It used to be like $200, but I think it's like 100 something now. Still expensive, but alright, my rant's over about the prices, but yeah, you know, I love running into these people at garage sales in California. It's, you know, these people that make the stuff, they're guaranteed to have video games. These are the people that thrive on the creativity of others and use it to fashion their own fantasies. So, it's out there. Now go get it.